How does a mortgage loan work in China property transaction? When helping foreign clients selling property in China, often the buyer will need to take out a bank loan to finance their purchase of property. But this bank loan is called mortgage loan in China. So generally, when the seller and the buyer come to agreement on the transaction of the property, upon signing the formal sale and purchase contract, this is generally the official version from the local real estate authority. So upon signing that formal contract, the buyer will start to apply to their bank for a loan sufficient enough to finance their purchase. But generally, the buyer will need to talk to the bank before they sign the formal contract to see whether the loan is available. So once the buyer submit all the necessary document to the bank, generally in this process, as the owner will need to participate, help the buyer to sign a certain document when the buyer applied for the bank loan. So the bank might take a couple of weeks to approve the application for the mortgage loan by the buyer. In most cases, it's not easy to apply for such mortgage loan, especially when the property market is not very good. Right now, the whole country is stimulating the property market, and it's very easy to apply for a bank loan at a very favorable interest rate. So when the bank approves the mortgage loan, and then only upon that condition, we will proceed to the next step to do the title transfer on behalf of our client. Because if the buyer does not get the bank loan approved, then most likely it means that will default in making the payment for the sale price. So it's very important to make sure that the buyer's mortgage loan has been approved by the bank. So when all the documents are ready, we submit the document for the title transfer. And upon the title transfer is done, that means the title is transferred to the buyer. In this process, the buyer needs to create a mortgage on the property before their bank will release the loan proceeds to the seller. But anyway, this process sometimes is not easy for the client, foreigner to understand. But in China, it's a very common practice. The seller will only receive the loan proceeds after the title transfer is done. That means the title has already been transferred to the buyer, and the seller will only receive the loan proceeds after that. It sounds a little bit scary because that means you are not receiving the full contract price, but your title has been transferred to the buyer. But anyway, that's the how it works here in China. So don't worry. We, as a lawyer, to help you, you are just rest assured.